Hey there. It's the preamble, the bit of the show I hate, but have to do, where we say out loud, clearly and distinctly, that we are aware we are being surveilled. Do not like it, did not ask for it, hate it a lot. If anybody's making money off of this, it is not us. And we would very much like for it to stop. We've been doing this for a couple of months now. This bit, the preamble. And we'd like to think it makes a difference. We'd like to think that this little piece of self-advocacy is actually doing a single goddamn thing. It doesn't appear to, but that doesn't mean we can stop. Because we have to keep fucking fighting. Literally, all we're doing is coming on here saying we feel like we, like every other person on Earth, are entitled to security, privacy, and self determination and autonomy. And that is apparently a bridge too far for people for some fucking reason. We keep hoping that it'll just fucking penetrate the right person's head eventually. We just keep hammering on how monstrous this feels to us, how bad it feels on our day-to-day life having to walk out into the street and not know whether or not some random asshole who knows way too much about our life is going to decide to take a swing at us. I'm not telling racialized minorities anything they don't already know, and I understand that. But it sucks dog shit for us also. Sorry that we're being selfish in this moment where we're actively being attacked. I forgot to write the toot before I went live. I'm going to be quiet for a moment while I do that. I definitely misspelled bureaucracy. That's fine. All right, there's a toot gun out. I'm gonna play some music and then I'm gonna play some video games. Over the last week, because I've not been used to doing this, I've forgotten to say the important thing. Well, it's all important during the preamble, which is, hey, if you can help us, If you're sitting there thinking, hey, I don't know if that's my place, we're telling you, yes, it is absolutely your place. Our email is joyandsolace@gmail.com. We're also reachable on the Fediverse at Eternal September at thick, THICC.horse, spelled the usual way. Let's get the fucking energy up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all those who do not feel represented by by an oppressive gender binary, it is the oppressive gender binary. It's not like there's some other gender binary over there that no one's just subscribing to. There's only the one, and that's still wrong. So there's not even that. I lost track of what I was doing. My name is September. You're whoever the hell you say you are, for better or for worse. And we're gonna play some more Talos Principle. Hi, Fib. Glad to see you here. I hope that you're doing okay. We've been sleeping a lot. But now we're here. We're going to do this. You're managing, you think? Now, what are you managing? Like a baseball team, or expectations, or someone else's emotions? You don't have to answer that. Talos Principle. Uh, Stress from my dad's recent stroke and hip pain in general social life. And I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that your dad's recovering well. I need to do the content warnings for Talos Principle, which there's not very many of. Talos Principle is a game in which you solve puzzles and contemplate the nature of humanity. I'm going to go ahead and use that word for this context, even though I don't like it basically anywhere else. Because they do, and it's going to be weird to try and replace all of those as I go through. Personhood is what I would use more usually. Oh well. Recovery is slow but not stalling, as I understand it. Good. Um, Talos Principle has some glitch effects, and those are occasionally accompanied by a sort of sizzling, glitchy noise, which is not particularly present. It is not. It's unpleasant, but it's not constant. It's just every now and again you'll hear a zzz noise as we walk around the world. I've tried to shut it off, but there's not a lot I can do about that. Because we're angry at being managed constantly. Uh, I think that's everything I need to do for Talos Principle for myself. Now, we'll put you over here. For myself, I'm a strange person who occasionally makes weird sex jokes or speaks frankly about my trauma. If that's not your vibe, that's okay. If you find that that's something you're comfortable being around, I'm glad to have you here. Uh, if you are here specifically to mock that, pens are cheap. You could go down to the Dollar Tree and for $3 get a pen and a composition notebook and just start doodling stuff. It's fun. You just sort of go in with no plan, put some lines down on a paper, just see what your brain comes out with. We've got a couple of those. We have one that we started in high school, and one that we got slightly more recently, which has it has a bunch of doodles, but then it also has like, I don't know, you want to call them essays? Probably not. They're fucking just little like us writing and trying to journal out our feelings about relationships we were in, or uh, being trans in a place where literally nobody wanted that to happen. Do that maybe instead of, taking time out of your day to just mock us. Let's play the game. The game is going to start with a little bit of a glitch sound. I'm just going to skip through it to the best of my ability. But it is upcoming. Okay, there we go. And hit this button so that you will be able to see me, presumably. I'll just wait and look and see if that pops up on the stream manager, which it should. That appears not to be. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, that's saying you're seeing it. That's not reflected on my, oh, there we go. So we were playing and continuing the Talos principle. So what are we doing here? We are continuing on our path of solving puzzles here in Elohim's Garden. There is not much in terms of a narrative. The biggest chunk of narrative we've been getting is from the. Is there one around? Yeah. These here computer terminals, where we are occasionally interacting with the Milton library assistant, who is attempting to get us administrator access to the library archive that wants us to prove that we're not a bot, but has some ideas that I greatly disagree with about what constitutes a bot. And in the meantime, while it's working on that, we're just going to keep solving tetromino puzzles. I'm sorry, we're not solving tetromino puzzles, which is to say puzzles made from tetrominos. We are solving environmental puzzles, for which tetrominos are our reward, which we then use to solve tetromino puzzles. Pinhole windows. There are notes on the wall left by people that came before us. These sigils are becoming harder to reach. I dread what the next temple holds in store. At the end, what? Eternal life? There's got to be another way. Sheet 69. Nice. So let's look and see what we're playing with in this little space. There is a red laser emitter and receiver. They have a connector connecting those, but we can't get into where that matters. And there's a blue emitter, which we need to... which we need to activate with this emitter. Did I say emitter previously or receiver? I think I might have said emitter both times. There was a receiver on that wall, which we need to activate by getting this blue laser emitter over there, but we can't do that because it's behind a barrier locked by another red laser receiver. We can, I think, just realign the connector we have. Yeah. And that lets us take, two whole laser connectors. I think. No, that's more complicated than I thought, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So I was thinking that we could just take these two connectors and just like pull them out this way so that they shoot through the... Yeah. So that they shoot through the little windows back here. But we can't do that because doing that means that this blue laser is breaking the line of the red laser. You can't cross the streams, and so that closes that barrier. So let's stop that, so at the very least there's not that noise. Okay. I think I see the vision. So we connect these two. That's gonna start the noise going again. But that's fine. You put that down there. And then we take the red connector that we have. And pull it way the hell back. All the way back here, so that the red laser is going to like make a U shape around the V shape of the blue laser. The trick is, I think, Well, I was going to say the trick is that I'm going to need to be able to connect this connector to both of the red laser receivers in order to make that work, but I think there's not actually a place I can stand to make that work. Hmm. Is there another... I was hoping there'd be another window that I could use to... sort of let that red laser loop work a little better, but it doesn't appear to be. Hmm. Do I need to... Oh, no, hang on. I almost had it. I need to connect the second red laser from here. Right, it's not showing me that I'm going to be able to connect it at any point. I just need to make sure that it... Yeah, that'll do that. I don't need to connect both of the red lasers with one connector. I can do it this way. There we go, it's just missing a step. Hi, Poss. We're, solving laser puzzles. How's your day going? Did we read this one already? No, I don't think we have. I have read a message on a wall that speaks of a world of endless sand. I would like to make it far enough to see that at 17. I ate a big cheeseburger. Hell yeah. Burg is my favorite meal. Which isn't true these days. But Crypt World's left too big of an impression to not have that call and response. Trapped inside. What are you doing? Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Here's a barrier that has a blue receiver on either side, so I guess either of those would work. And there doesn't appear to be any other, like, puzzle elements in here. I just need to, like, back this off and connect both of those, except I can't because of the way the walls are. Yeah, there's literally not a space I can stand where I can connect both of those at the same time. Right, what's over here then? Over here is the tetromino, so I'm gonna need both of the connectors in order to make the laser reach all the way over there. Oh, hang on, I know how to do this. We'll do it like this. That's going to keep both of those open. There we go. Now we have both connectors. Now we can open and get our T-piece. Right. It's down. Oh, more notes. Seek out those in this world that would help you. My God, I'm fucking trying. Though only one of us can transcend, we will all share in both the burden and in the rewards. Shepherd 82. You've changed, Dog 55. Everything I do now, I do for those who come after me. Yet in so doing, I find peace for myself as well. This paradox is the foundation of my existence. Shepherd. And in here somewhere is an L piece. Locked from inside. Dude, they got robots in this one. I have very good news. The answer to that question is yes. For reasons currently unknown to us, we are this. I'm gonna put that back on first person because I just like that view better. Walking around what is pretty clearly a simulation, solving tetromino puzzles. It's robots all the way down. That's a robot right there. It is a robot. What's great is after this, probably not immediately, but eventually on stream I'm going to play the sequel to this game, and that game is just chock full of robots. Many of which are very lovely. Okay, I think I need to take this over this way. Okay. So I went through and used a couple of connectors to open a couple of barriers with red receivers on them. This led me into this place where there is a blue emitter and receiver. Let me go ahead and do that because it can. Okay, here is our goal. There's our L piece behind this red receiver. How are we supposed to get a red beam into here? Probably through this barrier that's locked by a blue receiver. But that means we'll need to like drag that blue laser all the way around here so that we can get into that. Oh, okay, there's another connector back here. Let me go ahead and take this connector so that I can go ahead and open that and take that out. That'll give us a little more leeway. No, that can't go behind there. It has to go to here. And I think... Yeah. Alright, so now that this is open, yeah, that lets us completely ignore all of the other stuff we did with the well, not quite. It lets us ignore all the shit we did with the red lasers, and we can just pull these connectors out and use them to open our portal. Yeah, that's gonna... I thought that might be a little bit tighter of a... a little bit tighter of a space than it is, making its way around the blue laser that we put in here. But no, it's fine. I saw that you switched to Twitch. Just noticed that right now. Yeah. So, Twitch is I talked about this a little bit on the test stream I did on Sunday, but there's a couple reasons for that. First of all is it's honestly just an easier solution for live streaming because like YouTube is first and foremost a service that's kind of geared towards pre-made content, either VODs of streams or like pre-written, like scripted, that's the word I wanted, content. And it doesn't have as big of a sort of communal, a community that is built around the idea that like folks will just show up on some random stream they've never heard of, right? Twitch is a little bit more like that. I described it as having more through traffic than YouTube did, and that wouldn't have bothered me previously, but currently, uh, this is the only method that we have to make money until we get a day job again. So we are sort of relying on this in order to hopefully make affiliates so that we can get back to being paid here on Twitch and doing crowdfunding for rent and all of the other things we can do. Windows into a labyrinth. Okay. There's a barrier here with red receiver on it. That's the way we came in. That way is locked. That's probably the exit. So presumably there's a... Okay, there's the red emitter. And here's the connector. So at the very least, we can open that first barrier and then get a lay of the labyrinth, apparently, that we have windows into. So we'll walk in here to some narrow spaces. There's some windows cut into some of these walls. Here's another connector, so let's go ahead and use that to open up this barrier, because there's a jammer behind that one. Jammers are so terribly useful. Where's our goal? Is it? Well, that's not it, but there's another connector over there that we need. But I can't use the jammer to open this if I'm going to do that way. So, hang on. There's the emitter all the way over there. Is there a place closer to here that I can use to... I could sort of put it down here, that first connector, and then that laser will shoot through that window. And that'll be close enough to hit the emitter so I can open that door, so I can use the jammer to actually open that. No, that's not right, because that's not what that window's looking into. It's not looking into this space like I thought it was. It's looking into that space over there, which is not terribly useful for me at this moment. Where can I put this? That'll make a damn difference. Can I? Yes, I can. Okay, so I can get this one open, I think, by doing the thing that I was gonna try to do to get this one open. It's just gonna require a little bit of chicanery. So we're gonna jam that door open, or that barrier, so that we don't need to worry about hitting it with a laser. Set the connector down there, take the jammer, use it to jam that one open. And then we can take that connector and make our way in here, which doesn't matter because there's still 2 more fucking barriers between us and... Oh, that is the Tetramino over there too, isn't it? Shit. Alright, so that's where our goal is. Damn, we're gonna need to do some wild stuff with lasers in order to get that to work the way I want it to, aren't we? Alright, well, we got that one open anyway, so we have a spare connector now. Actually, with all that, do we need to worry about anything in here, in this kind of main area? No, I think we've usefully opened all the barriers in here and gotten the stuff out from behind them that we need to. Okay, so don't even worry about that part. But what we are going to do is take this other connector and use it to get that door open so that we can use the jammer to open it from the other side, so we have all 3 connectors over here. Right, so step 1 is we pull this as far back as possible. So we can put that there. That opens that barrier. We move this into here. We connect that emitter to that connector. And that'll open that barrier. And now we take the jammer that we brought in here. And jam that last door open, fuck the emitter, and grab our Tetramino. What the hell is that? No, what is that though? So I just took a look up at the UI. So it's showing all of the pieces we've collected to open the doors that we've encountered. We can get into Bunker B if we want. We can get into the first floor of the Great Tower, which is so totally forbidden. Everyone, it's so totally forbidden to touch the tower. Even though they give us the keys to it in all of the regular puzzle rooms. And a couple other things that we haven't gotten all of the pieces for. And then the gold stars, which we've seen before. And then I don't know what that other UI element is. The 3 red dots under it with the number 4. Actually, I'm willing to bet that's red Tetramino pieces to one of the other levels of the tower that we just haven't seen the lock for yet, because we wouldn't be able to, because we'd have to get the first lock first. No, thank you. I do not want AI viewers from your place. I like connecting with people. Your chatbots do not count. I had a full-blown conversation with the entity in the archive today. Can't say it was terribly helpful. Still, perhaps I can charm some information out of it further down the line. Sheep 69.
Rejoice, child.
Oh, I'm supposed to rejoice.
You have fulfilled all your tasks in this land. You have conquered all its guardians and solved all its mysteries. Thus you are appointed its master, and you may do with it as you will.
So, a couple of fucking things, Elohim. First of all, no, I haven't. I clearly haven't. Because there's this whole gate over here. Oh, wait, this is open. That lock requires a bunch more sigils. I need stars in order to open this. But, like, there's a whole thing in here that is another mystery that I haven't accessed. And there's this fucking... Hang on. There's this obvious teleporter over here behind the wood that I can't access. And that's not even counting this hidden fucking thing that we found before, which I might as well go into now. But I have not solved all the mysteries of this place. Second, you say I can do with it what I want, but first of all, I don't have any edit access in here. I can walk around it as much as I like, but that's not the same thing. You can't say remake this in your own image and then not allow me to change anything. Those are not the same thing. Anyway, what's in this hidden zone? I legitimately don't remember. What the hell are those? Verdun, Helena, Kiss, Ivana, Davor, as I hover over them. So, it's people with, the same robot bodies that I have, just a little bit smaller. And big ol' CRT heads with faces on them. Davor, Damjan. Oh, I'm willing to bet these are devs. I think this is the dev room. You should maybe have a second look at that one. There's a machine over here that we cannot... Ooh. I was about to say we cannot touch, but apparently... Oh, okay, it's some sort of recording thing. where you touch it, it you records you, you do your actions, and then it plays a ghost of you doing that thing. Cute. I'm gonna look around here just a little bit longer. Alexandre Mental for Richaud, where there's smoke, they pinch back. Forever he will be the forum cat. Meow, 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 meow. There's also a dynamite plunger over here. I cannot tell if those are obituaries or thanks for dedicated community members. I am enjoying the idyllic music here. Error, invalid encoding. That's fair. All right, let's... no, those are inter-area transporters, I guess. Oh, hey. Here's Samsara and Shepard. These are actual, like, other... It's good to know they were also robots, but some of the people we've been seeing on the walls. That's cute. Which way was out? This way. So I guess our next stop is going back into the overland and down into Bunker B. So let's go ahead and do that. That one's C, so this one's B. Got a couple of stone lions out front of it, like the Library of Congress. And other places. I need to solve a Tetromino puzzle really quickly. Oh, that's not how I do that. Okay. Okay, there we go, like that. And now we sink into the underground.
Stands before you, my child.
Uh-huh.
And know that this is a land of death, but also great beauty. As you walk amongst these tombs, consider all those who came before you, and how they served the greater purpose of which you are also part.
Okay. So as we step out into Chapel B, it is significantly Egyptian flavored with do I mean friezes? I don't know what with murals we'll go with of it looks like burial rituals on the wall, statues of sphinxes and sitting pharaohs, sand which is coarse and gets everywhere, obviously. And a whole bunch more puzzle spokes for us to go off into. So let's start with one.
I have promised you eternal life.
Uh huh.
But know that eternity may only be attained by those who serve a purpose greater than themselves. All else is decay. So it was written in the hidden words before the beginning of time.
I don't know why someone would want to be immortal. It seems like a bummer, honestly. I'm finally getting some sense out of the entity in the archive, though at some cost to my sanity. I'm beginning to think this Elohim wields no more control over the world than we do. Sheep 69. Speaking of, the terminal is blinking at us. Tell me something. So it's just popping up. It didn't even bother to like do the thing where it says uploading MLA and all of the preamble. It's just tell me something. Do you always do what you're told? No. No, I do not. I only ask because I couldn't help but notice the stash of brightly colored knickknacks you're collecting. Don't you think it a mite odd that the big voice in the sky keeps telling you to find those doodads, yet forbidding you to use them to climb the great big tower in the middle of it all? I, 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 I do think that's a mite odd. The options available to us are you're testing me, I must resist the tower's temptation, or I'll climb it when I'm good and ready, which is the answer. Okay, no need to get huffy. You'd be amazed how many just do as they're told without stopping to think for themselves. But maybe you're different. Then again, maybe you're exactly the same. Maybe everyone climbs the tower, and the only way to win is to stay down here with the mortals. Are you trying to manipulate me, or do you really think so? Are you trying to manipulate me? No. In fact, I'm all in favor of you poking about up there, if only to see what you find. It must be something juicy if it's forbidden by His Highness. Then again, maybe not. I'll be off then. Just wanted to drop in and run a little interference. Whatever you do take care. You have bigger problems than the voice in the clouds. Not very helpful. You don't like to say his name, do you? Or I will. I really like this one. You don't like to say his name, do you? And the reason I like that is because like folks like this who do albatross management, right? Come in, shit all over everything and leave. Actually don't like being deeply perceived themselves. I get a feeling this will get a rise out of MLA. You don't like to say his name, do you? Terminating support session. All right, let's have a look at the local sources. Osiris1.txt. Original translation for E.A. Wallius Budge. Annotations by somebody. The dying man went unto the scribe who resided in Permejed, and said, Behold, I am weak of body. My days under the holy sun of Amun-Ra are coming to an end. I should probably do the annotations as they come by for context, even though that's going to be a little messy, but okay. The dying man went unto the scribe who resided in Permejed. It is likely the location was changed according to who the copy of the book was made for. The dying man is an avatar of the owner. And said, Behold, I am weak of body. My days under the holy sun of Amun-Ra are coming to an end. In the older manuscript, this is rendered as a jumble of characters. Some controversy as to whether it not specifically helpful. Though I have spent my years in the service of the two lands, I have not studied the question mark. Tell me, you who are wise in the writings of the dead, what lies ahead on my journey? What will I face in the land of the Westerners? Land of the Westerners is the dead. Compare with Kenti Amentiu, the foremost of the Westerners, a title later given to Osiris. And the scribe spoke, saying, At the appointed time, we don't have annotation 4, and we don't have whatever annotation 5 connects to, but annotation 5 is sometimes mistaken for a mistranslation on Budge's part. This is actually almost certainly a mistranslation by the ancient scribe. The equivalent portion from the older manuscript is sadly not extant. got_it_lyrics.html. Cannot load video file. 24 million views. My new song with lyrics. Gotta laugh about this stuff. Laughter's the best medicine. Lyrics. I've got it, you've got it, he's got it, she's got it. Mommy's got it, daddy's got it, baby's got it, granny's got it. Laddie's got it, fatty's got it, happy's got it, sappy's got it. Chorus. Everybody's got it, come on. Jack's got it, Fred's got it, Bob's got it, dog is fine. Chorus. Woof, 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 dancing dog. Everybody's got it, except dog. Woof. We've got it, we've got it, we've got it. Everybody's got it. Upsetting. I mean, I've already said that whatever the hell was happening outside of this program that caused the creation of this program probably wasn't fantastic. Immortality.html. This Gruntlowmeister's Blogstasy, episode 204. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm afraid of dying. I don't see any reason to believe there's an afterlife. I'm an organism like any other. When my brain stops working, my consciousness will cease, and I will be gone. And you know what? I can't just embrace that. I can't say I'm okay with it, or I've accepted it, or some nonsense like that. I don't want to have an ending. It terrifies me. If I had a genie right now, I'd wish for immortality. Who wouldn't? Oh, but you wouldn't really want to be immortals, the pseudo-philosophers say, calling me out specifically. Pretentious drivel. Everybody wants to live forever. Maybe everybody deserves to live forever too. But we can't. So here we are. Live with it. Or rather, don't. And yeah, while all of the puzzle hubs connected to Chapel A, Bunker A were sort of Grecian gardens. This looks like a Egyptian temple with obelisks in the background, palm trees. Still a whole bunch of these shallow pools that make really cool ripple effects when you jump in them. They totally didn't need to do that, but they did. I guess in a game where the majority of your where the majority of the game is static puzzle elements, you can afford to spend a little bit of time having good water. Oh, hang on. That's slightly too high to jump over. There's a note over here. Let's have a look. I made a box float. Seriously, it was awesome. 8 version 42. I'm happy for you, 8. In here we have window through a door, where there is an L shape waiting for us. Right? There's a red emitter. Where's the receiver we're meant to get it to? Well, here's a buzzer. Hey, buzzer. You doing good? Yep. There's another connector over here. What else do we have access to? Let's go a little further in. Over here, there's another barrier with another red receiver. Okay, so what I immediately thought to do was put the connector here in front of the budger. Because when we put, well, let's just go ahead and do it, and then we'll see what happens, because maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, so when we do that, well, I was concerned that the buzzer would break the line so much that we wouldn't be able to get into that, this zone at all. But no, the door opened just long enough for us to go in, grab the connector that's in there, and get out. Uh-huh. 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 But I'm willing to bet that the other emitter, the other receiver over here that actually leads to the puzzle piece isn't going to... Yeah, that takes a lot longer to spool up, and so the buzzer doesn't let us do that. And we don't have a particular way to trap the buzzer so that it doesn't do that thing that way. But that's fine, because what we need to do is put that there. And put this down here. And then we take, what did I do with it? It's over here. We'll take this because there's a hole over there, and we can use that to... There we go, redirect that first connector over here to the third one. And then we can pick up the second one. And that completely bypasses the buzzer whatsoever. So, now we just put that there, put the connector. And Bob's your uncle. Surely Bjorn Strong in the Arm is my uncle. Go up this ladder and collect our puzzle piece. Keep yelling. Maybe you'd see more of a fear response if you hadn't made us so fucking numb to it over the course of the past year. So, go through here, where there is a Z-piece, third wheel. We have a red emitter. There's a blue receiver. There's a red receiver, so let's go ahead and... You're gonna have to pull this way back in order for those to connect, but that's fine. And we know how this goes. We just put the... We put a V inside a V. Like, that's gonna work. We just need to put the... Ooh. Well, apparently no, we can't. Move that far enough back in order to... Okay, but that's why we have that third connector. Okay, hang on. Put that there. Take this other connector. Cause it to make a... Oops. Make a U shape with the red laser. Then we put the V inside the U. Huh. Okay. So that does open that door, but it leaves us here where the Tetromino is still blocked by one more barrier, which is activated by a button. So we need to free up one of those connectors so that we can use it or to place it on the button. All right, what's the absolute minimum distance we can have this and have it still connect? That. Okay. Where can we put this that it's going to do that thing? Right there. Okay, that's actually not as hard as I was thinking it might be. There we go. Z. Oh, I think it's this one. So yeah, last week I mentioned that this game is made by Crow Team, who made the Serious Sam series of Samuel games. Um, uh, we're about to, I think, there's an area somewhere in here because Serious Sam is about a guy time traveling back to ancient Egypt and shooting a bunch of aliens. There's a point somewhere in this series of levels where one of those like jump scares you. I can't quite remember where, but I think it's around here. So I'm gonna content warn for that now. And I'm sorry that I can't have it be more specific. I just do not remember where. Road of Death. Okay. So it's pretty clear why that's given the name it's given. Because we need to go down this row where there is a ball, the kind that explode and kill us. And also, what, 1, 2, 3, is it 4? 4 laser turrets. Can we climb while... We cannot climb while carrying an item. Okay. So let's just climb up here to sort of get our bearings. Oh, we can climb them all the way over. Okay, and this is where the Tetromino is, presumably, behind this barrier, which is controlled by a button. So we need to take that box over there. And get it all the way over here while not being killed by any of these 4 turrets and also that ball. So hang on, let's grab the box first. And then let's just kind of see what the ball does when left to its own devices. It runs down that way. I don't think it's going to get close enough to any of the turrets in order to explode them. No, it is not. Here's a wacky idea. Can we... We can take the hexahedron. I called it a box, and it's not a box. It's a hexahedron. There's 6 sides. Look right at it. But we can put it just right on top of the ball. So we'll stay back here. Let the ball deliver it all the way to the other side. And then once it's over there, we'll jam it. Walk up here on the catwalk, which is the safe zone. Remove that hexahedron. Put it on the button. And grab our T-piece. We apparently now have all the pieces we need to unlock one of the other pods. Oh, here you are.
Cease! In the time of your ancestors, there were those who did not choose the path of faith. You do not need to fear their ghosts. Fear only that you may become like them.
Sure. Over the fence. Oop. Oh, okay, so if you didn't know that you could put the box on the hexahedron on top of the ball, this is where you learn that. Let's go ahead and move that box out of the way so that that ball takes out that laser turret. Hooray. This gives us a second box. We can't, like, catty corner stack them, huh? No, I guess we can't. Oh, okay, we're supposed to go over this fence. Because there's a jammer on the other side. We take the box with us to make sure we can get back over. Jam that lammy and grab a thing. I never actually played Jammer Lammy. It's something that we saw on like demo kiosks. Hey, fellow fucking 40-year-olds, do you remember when you went to Target and they would have a demo kiosk? Showing you some of the latest games you could play on your PlayStation 2 or Nintendo 64. Our parents would usually drop us off there and, like, let us fuck around with that while they went off shopping. Terminal. Support session opened. Hello again. I've been checking your responses against library archives, and in order to assist you further, I need some additional information. Can you tell me what is, to you, the important difference between a pebble and a tree? A tree is heavier, a pebble is older, a tree is alive. Which of these is the most important difference between the three? I would say that the tree is alive, and therefore, as a living thing, deserves a certain degree of respect and care, whereas a pebble does not necessarily. A tree is alive. Good. Now, what's the relevant difference between a tree and a frog? A frog is conscious, a frog is green, a frog is delicious. I don't like that last one. I'm kind of not prepared to I'm gonna hit a frog is conscious, but I feel that MLA is going to hand us my response back, which is, how do you know a tree isn't conscious? Just not capable of communicating to you in a way that you can understand. Oh, no. A frog is conscious. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's try something harder. What's the difference between a frog and you? What makes you a person? I have feelings. I'm self-aware. I'm rational. Nothing important. Frogs are people too. I continually come back to this idea that animals are people too thing. And it's not that I disagree with the thrust of the statement, but I feel that it should be phrased the other way. People are also animals. Nothing important. Frogs are people too. Checking user.profile. Now, that confuses me because certification because during certification you indicated that to be a person you had to be both an animal and rational. Frogs do not strike me in conversation as being particularly rational. So, how about we strike a deal? I'll agree that animals are every bit as valuable or pointless as human beings. You agree that there are some activities persons are capable of that frogs are not. Because if frogs are people, then the certification program is radically unfit for purpose. I agree with you. The certification program is radically unfit for purpose. Frogs are rational because even though they don't behave like humans, they behave in a way that is uh, rational and makes logistical sense within the framework of their own survival. Like, it is rational to a frog to sit on a lily pad and eat flies because that is what causes the frog to continue living. The fact that a frog is not, to the best of our knowledge, contemplating higher mathematics does not matter. That's a false equivalence. No deal. Well, I'm sorry, but if you want administrator privileges, you're just going to have to prove that you are in some way distinguishable from a lower amphibian. What I'd like to put to you is the important difference between you and a frog is that you are rational, you're self-aware. That's what makes a person. Right? Let us take stock. I think we can tentatively conclude two things. One, a person must be rational or self-aware, or two, a person must be conscious. What I suggest we do is to help resolve your problem is to ask whether you are in fact those things. Are you aware of yourself? Can you rationalize your existence? I suppose. I tend to agree with you, though your responses so far have been a little eccentric. I'm resigned to admit that you're right. The matter of whether or not you're conscious seems more elusive. What is consciousness, in your opinion? Our pre-baked responses are consciousness is what separates us from animals. Consciousness is the feelings and the senses. Consciousness is what it is like to be me. Consciousness is far outside my area of expertise. Um, I think we can't do consciousness is what separates us from animals. I think we can't. I think I disagree with consciousness as the feelings and senses because everything alive has some degree of feeling and sense. Consciousness is what it is like to be me. Consciousness is far outside my area of expertise. So, consciousness is what it is like to be me is actually just a reframing of the idea of self awareness, right? It's an understanding of the self and what it is like to be the self and to be distinct from other selves, I suppose. It's also not far outside my area of expertise. I've been conscious my whole life. Well, I mean, no, that's untrue. I've been asleep sometimes. I do sleep sometimes. I spent a lot of today asleep, unfortunately. It's draining. All of this is pretty draining. I guess it's just consciousness is what it is like to be me is the least objectionable of these answers. That hardly answers the question. What is it in ordinary terms? Can I touch it? What is it made of? Consciousness is made of neurons. Consciousness is another word for the soul. Consciousness is beyond the laws of physics. Consciousness is a complex functional system. What a coincidence. We're a complex functional system. We're not that complex. So this is the problem I'm butting against with their whole system, is because I do actually just despise the premise that they're beginning with. Like, consciousness is made of neurons, but your stated goal is to say how we differ from a frog or a dog, and a frog or a dog also have the neurons. Consciousness is beyond the laws of physics. Consciousness is another word for the soul. Consciousness is a complex functional system. I feel like consciousness is beyond the laws of physics is just a secular restating of consciousness as another word for soul, but it's the one that I jive with the most. I still slightly disagree with it, but we'll go with that. Interesting. You know, I really feel like we're making progress. We'll have you through that certification program in no time. I sure have heard fucking that before. In the meantime, I will mull over your proposal and notify you if I come to my conclusions. Terminating support session. Okay, so we have mutation, evolution, and capacity. Let's start with mutation. The role of mutation in evolution is particularly fascinating. There is no author credited for this text. Mutation is essentially an error in the organism's central database. Pardon. I'm just going to start again from the top. The role of mutation in evolution is particularly fascinating. Mutation is essentially an error in the organism's central database. A variable gets changed, a piece of information is accidentally doubled or combined with another. Most of the time, the result is the equivalent of a bug, causing anything from minor problems to complete system shutdown, i.e. death. But sometimes the new information is functional, giving the organism an advantage against the challenges it faces, in which case it has a much higher chance of being passed to the next generation. If you consider how unlikely a beneficial mutation is, and how long it takes for such a mutation to propagate, this process can give you an amazing insight into just how vast the genetic history of each living organism, a series of those codes again with the word overwrite in the middle. Simultaneously, it is intriguing to consider what a major role random errors have played in the evolution of life itself. The same process has killed so many of us, often in horrific ways. It is also responsible for our very existence. Let's go with capacity. From Trevor Donovan to Alexandra Drennan. Yeah, no worries. EL is not only ridiculously fast, it also has a bazillion tons of space. Even while hosting a full copy of the archive, it'll totally be able to handle all of your project's data needs, assuming its output is as you suggested. I mean, the worst case scenario would be like centuries. That should be enough, right? Right? Woogly face. I call that the woogly face, the small o underscore large o to create the eyes of different sizes. I call it the woogly face. Signed Trev. Evolution.html. Favorited by George Jameson. One of the common misunderstandings about evolution, sometimes accidentally promoted by people who should know better, is that it's an active process. Sometimes the term evolve is even applied to individual beings as if some invisible force had driven them to suddenly change. But the truth is that individuals don't evolve. The term evolution describes a long-term process that can be observed in an entire population across time due to code break. Example, in response to an external threat or challenge. If an individual coincidentally has a trait that allows it to deal with that challenge more effectively than others, it is more likely to pass on that information to its descendants. That information gives them advantage, so over time they become the dominant model of that species. the individuals experience no significant genetic change during their lifetimes, but each of them is part of the evolution of the species. I think there's only the one more puzzle over there, but I am gonna have a quick look around at all of this stuff. Of which there is not much. So yep, our last one, a Z shape. Something about a star. We have a blue emitter and a connector. And that's where we're meant to point it at this barrier with a blue receiver that has a tetromino behind it. But there's a buzzer in the way of that. So almost certainly yeah, that's not going to have anywhere near enough time. There's a star in there. Behind this barrier where there is a red receiver. I don't think there's a red emitter in this area. I'll deal with that in just a second. Is that going to be long enough to let the thing activate, or is buzzer going to... Okay. So that puzzle was relatively simple. And the reason that puzzle is relatively simple is that that thing is not what this room is trying to teach us. So there's a star in here, and there's a red receiver which opens the barrier to that star, but there's not a red emitter anywhere in this room. But if we go all the way over here, all the way over here, and we take this connector from the other room and set it here in front of the door, then because connectors don't have a maximum distance, and because the purple membranes which stop us from taking connectors out of rooms don't actually stop the lasers, we can just take that fucker wherever we want. Hooray. Was that the only star? Hang on, let me have a look at the signpost at the front of the area. Yes it was, we got it. So let's move on to B2. Or actually, before we move on to B2, let's go ahead and kick open uh, this thing. There's another pod here with a fan behind it. It's locked by a tetromino puzzle, but I'm pretty good at solving those. We turn the fan, into a real object. Because I'm sure those are going to be coming up in the next series of puzzle rooms. Which we'll get to here in a second. I'm going to take the break right now. Oh, hey, I forgot I bought this. My glasses keep slipping off my face when I'm when I'm out, because of course when I'm outside I'm still wearing the breathing mask, my KN95. And the glasses, because they have like baked in nose tips, nose grips, as opposed to the sort of rubberized ones, just usually kind of slip off of it. So I bought I was about to say glasses chain. It's not a chain. It's a piece of like nylon rope with sticky things for you to shove the stems of your glasses into, so that they stay on your neck when they inevitably fall off your fucking face. That's not here nor there. Yeah, so I'm going to take the break. Before I do that, I want to take this opportunity to remind you that Black Lives Matter, that Indigenous lives and lands matter, that Palestinian, Iranian, Ukrainian, Sudanese, Congolese lives matter. There are many ways to be in solidarity with your fellow travelers upon this earth, and we like to push for direct mutual aid, as it helps people who are suffering right now suffer less, and people who are suffering less can stand shoulder to shoulder with us that little bit taller. So on my break, I'm going to go to the mutual aid hashtag and boost what needs I can there. I hope that you take the opportunity to check out mutual aid initiatives in places you operate, both online and in meat space, because the only way we get out of this is through, and the only way we get through this together. I'm gonna. Remy said they're gonna paint me up a BRB screen here in a little bit, and I think on that BRB screen I'm gonna put some static mutual aid asks, like eSIMs for Gaza and whatever else I can find that's useful, that I don't have to change too much. In the meantime, maybe stand up, do it if you can, do a stretch, drink some water, have a snack, hit the restroom, do whatever self-care is useful to you. I'll do the same. And I will catch you back here in just a little while. See you then. I return. I don't know what's wrong with this one particular kind of incense that we have. That came in the like box of a whole bunch of incenses that we have. But it's like a strawberry vanilla flavor. It's very, very good. But it keeps putting itself out. Not sure why. Sorry to be quiet. I realized that I got up and went to the restroom as I exhort everyone else to. And I got sidetracked trying to fix something in there, and it turns out that I can't with the current tools I have. Or maybe I could if I just like worked on it a little harder. But I came back and realized I had actually forgotten to do the mutually boosting that I'd ordinarily do, so I'm just doing that right now. Okay, there we go. And this time I remembered to bring the fucking chat back up again. So, doing that. Now into B2.
I see all.
Uh-huh.
I know all.
That's great.
My power knows no bounds.
Probably not.
And yet your will is free because you were made to be free. It is the very principle of your existence, without which the trials of this world would hold no meaning. To seek salvation must be your choice.
Sure. I'm a fucking best at here, asshole. Also, your power isn't, you can't see all because you apparently lost track of us when we started going up the tower. So that's just a lie. It's cool to be lied to. I've gotten really used to it. Audio log over here, in the form of a holographic hourglass.
I great empty cities, silent roads stretching for miles, the Earth from space, all dark. Not a single light to guide me home. But if someone really came from another world, what would the Earth look like to them? A wilderness? A wasteland? I don't think so. Even after thousands of years, they'd see a world shaped by our hand in every aspect of its being. They'd see the cities and the roads, the bridges, the harbors, and they would say, here lived a race of giants. These dreams, they scare me, but they also remind me that we built all of this.
The terminal also is blinking at us. Just right into the local resources. sciencemagic.html. Though the term science has only meant what it does to us for around 600 years, its practice far predates the name. There is evidence pre-Aristotle, which indicates soothsayers, mystics, and the like may have employed basic scientific methods to predict the future and confound their benefactors. One anecdote concerns a palm reader who was exposed when two wealthy clients compared their readings and found them to be identical. In 1948, the tendency to discover deep personal meaning in vague descriptions delivered authoritatively, I think I said that right, was given a name, the Forer effect. Today, it is recognized in all contemporary psychological theory. Weight loss 722.html. Weight loss blog latest entry. Oh man, if there's one thing that's good about inevitable death, it's the food. Yeah, baby, I'm gonna have it all. The horribly unhealthy food in the world. I'm gonna feast on jelly beans like a crazy monkey on Christmas. And you know those muffins that have so much chocolate they're basically melting? That's gonna be my breakfast, and burgers for lunch. I'm gonna have burgers so greasy you could use them to lubricate a whole factory. Triple bacon burgers with double cheese and extra onions and mayonnaise and ketchup and mustard and big, fat, juicy patties. And then oily, thick pizza with spicy salami and barbecue sauce and olives and jalapenos and sour cream. Food coma, here I come. Arcaday Journal 81. Fascinated by Drennan's project. Lovely conversation re Talos principle, Greek philosophy, relevance to current situation. Suggested naming project Talos. Drennan refused, but the name seems to have caught on with the team. Tens of thousands of files coming in every hour. Our whole history. Alright. Let's start over here. Moonshot. Right, I remember this one. I'm gonna do the rest of this hub and then do the moonshot. So there's a red emitter, a connector, over here is the first fan that we've seen. So the fans are in static positions on the ground. We can remove them, but they don't work anywhere else. We can use them as button pressers, but they don't work as fans anywhere else. If we stand on them, we float a specific distance in the air. And while, hang on, we can put connectors on top of them they just sort of float off because they're like a tripod shape, and that's not really conducive to hovering. But boxes will stay in place. And we can put a connector on top of the box and achieve the same result, which we're going to do. So click the emitter, click the receiver over there, put the connected connector on top of the box, put the box up in the air, and viola. Let's continue around. There's no more on that wall. But there is one in here. The big Memphis temple looking thing. The tomb. Do I mean Memphis? I'm pretty sure I do. This is something I've said in streams before. I don't know if Egyptology is considered to be a cool word to use anymore. It's one of those things that sort of seems like it shouldn't be. But I took a class in Egyptian history and folklore when I was in the ACE program in elementary school. Not a lot has stuck with me. Just enough has stuck with me to make me a problem. There's some notes on the wall. Okay, so I get that I'm supposed to retrieve these sigils. I just don't get why. Sure, the loud voice is telling me to, but this world of his has no context, no purpose, and no foundations from which to construct them. Dog 55. I'm convinced there are answers here if we look hard enough. We have to work together on this. Sheep 69. It's nice to see the sheep leading the dog sometimes. Over here we have a barrier which is already being jammed open. Which leads us into a room with a red emitter and another barrier with a red receiver. But we'll just jam it open, because fuck it. There is a connector back here, so let's do that. So we can open this last area. Or I presume it's the last area, which it is. There's the thing back there. And there's another connector in here, which is great. We're just going to take that. And there's a whole bunch of like walls and pillars in between where we could reasonably see the emitter or a connector for it. And the receiver. But that's completely okay, and the reason that's completely okay is that we're not going to do that at all. We're going to take this. Use that connector to keep the door open, and then use the jammer to open that final door. Hooray. anything over here? It kind of looks like that wall doesn't go all the way up to the... No, I think it goes all the way up to the rock face. Never mind. Alright, next room. Man on the moon, if you believe. Okay, so we have a fan over here, which is at an angle as opposed to being directly on the ground like the last one we saw was. We have buttons that activate those. And if we step on the little platform in front of them, yep, we get launched over this great big series of fences into here where the Tetromino is, but it's behind this barrier that we need something to set on top of in order to activate it. So we can, yeah, hang on. I'll just set a box in front of the launcher. And then, yep, that goes all the way over there. And then we'll use this other fan to rest on the button. And get ourselves blown over there. Put the box on the button and grab our tea. Higher ground, which apparently doesn't have any lasers or fans in it at all. But it does have more purple membranes that we can't take things past. Alright, what's on the other side of this before I start fucking around with the pieces? There's a barrier over here, behind which there are a couple of more barriers. There's a barrier over here. I can't tell what's behind that either. Oop. And over there is a hallway with a couple of balls running down it. Okay, let's go ahead and jam those gates open from their elevated place up on the platform, so we can at least go see what's behind here. Well, here's a key ring. I don't think we saw a gate. There doesn't appear to be anything back there. But it could be wrong. Let's just jam it and see, and then we'll just walk back there and have a look. It sort of feels like I shouldn't have been able to reach that. On the other hand, I can, so fuck it, I will. Oh, okay, that's where the keys go. Here's another hallway full of balls. And we can't jam these because they're absolutely out of the way. There are notes on the wall. Epitaph, Child Program V10.6.1008F, codename Faith. Terminated here. Logic. Worshipped the designer for numbered days, then allowed the serpent into its heart. Final memory dump. I asked the designer for forgiveness, that I may join him in the eternal memory. Progeny programs at Samasara Sheep. I guess someone met their end here. Seems we're all connected somehow, like distant family relations, different versions, series. What are we? Sheep 69. Who cares? Just be grateful we don't have to read anything more about our great designer, the Greek version 99. Oh, there's a whole another jammer up here that I didn't see. Oh, good. Hmm. There's not barriers in there, in between the wall balls. I think we do this like this. Well, no, that doesn't work either. So if I take the jammer out here to the one that's just like in front of where the balls are, those balls are definitely too close together, yeah, to allow me any passage through. I need to be able to either disable one or at least, like, let one bonk against something so that they're out of sync and I can use the space to get around them. You're out of sync. I'm out of dog. But I'm singing about memes when you're not around. Actually, can I just hit those balls from up here with these initial jammers? I don't have to do it for very long, just long enough to desync them again so that I can like have enough space to get around them. I can definitely hit this one on the far side. No, that's not that. That's looking at the gate. Although that's what I need, isn't it? Okay, so we'll jam that gate open. And then I can come up to here. And then, because there's a hole cut in this wall, I can jam that ball there. Then wait for the other one to pass all the way to the other side, so that those are desynced. And now I just need to unjam those other barriers so that I can actually get into the ball hall where all the balls are. Ballhalla? Probably not. Jam that one open, and now this is easy as punch to get through. Except there's one more barrier between where I need to be where the Tetramino is and the ball hall. So I need to figure out a way to free up one of those to be able to get that. Okay. This is doable. I mean, of course it's doable. It's a puzzle that's designed with a solution. But, I mean, I can do it. So... Can I pull this... Hang on. Can I pull that jammer through the window? I don't think I can, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to set that there and jam that. And then we go open those two barriers that lead to the ball hall. Golly, thanks, Baloo. Then that door's open. I can't be able to pull that out from that window, right? Pull that jammer through the wall, that would be silly. Yes, it would. It would be silly. They're not letting me do that. So I need to go through 4 gates. With only 3 jammers. Oh, no, okay. I got it. So, we just need to get the jammer that we can move freely into that area between the second gate and the gate that leads to Ball Hall. Because we can use that like a two-way key. Hang on. No, I didn't leave it there. I left it in that thing. I'm gonna have to go get it. But, so that's gonna take a second. But I got it, I think. We unjam that. Grab that. And we'll just drop that there for now. It doesn't need to jam anything. We take this and use it to jam that second gate. No, I think that's jamming the first gate again. There we go. Okay, and now we take this back and we use it to jam the second gate from this side, the inside. And now we take the jammer that was doing that. Nope, that's the wrong one. Take the jammer that was doing that and use it to open the gate that leads to the Tetramino. So the first gate's being opened by the by one of the jammers on the hill. The second gate's being opened by this jammer on the ground. We can pick it up once we're through the gate and take it over and unjam the door that leads to Ball Hall. There's no barriers in Ball Hall, just balls. And then we go all the way over here to where our Tetramino is. Ba-bing. Oop. There's another message over here that I didn't notice. This is, I guess, probably going to be our last message from Faith as she met her end in the Ball Hall. I don't know why I presumed Faith was a woman. They met their end in the Ball Hall. I have come to see that these mysteries are not all for his children to solve. Only the designer himself could ever truly understand the infinite complexity of his creation. I will gaze at his work and worship. Just gave up, huh? So let's go back into Moonshot. I think I remember how to do this. So we're going to take this box off so that we can get back to the connector. And hang on, it's around here somewhere. It keeps triggering. It's fucking pixel hunting at this point. Ah, it's like right on the edge of the moon there. Select that. We put it back on there and hit the button so that it goes up. And the moon, she turns. I was very excited when I first learned of this to see what amazing secrets could be hidden behind the moon. It's in fact just the developers wearing their fucking influences on their sleeve with a massive Aperture Science logo. And accompanying fanfare. I was annoyed at the time. I think it's very cute now. I'm just gonna leave it there. Oh, hang on. Terminal's beeping at us. Loading Milton, library assistant. Here's what I've been wondering while you were off carrying out commandments. You've suggested that consciousness is not part of the same world as ordinary physical things. And that means you can't weigh it, which you can't throw it around or cut it into pieces. It's completely beyond the laws of physics, right? So by the standards you're positing, yes. Like everything has to follow natural laws, but I think we don't understand the laws by which consciousness operates. That's not to say that they're in conflict with physics necessarily. We just have a poor understanding of those ideas. Okay, good. Now, the library is fairly consistent on the view that physical events are caused by other physical events. If you move your legs, it's because of the interactions between your neurons and your nervous system. But if consciousness is beyond the laws of physics, how can happiness physically make you jump for joy? Consciousness is mysterious by its nature. But if consciousness is physical, why is it so unlike everything else? It can't, it just feels like it can make you jump for joy. Or I may have taken a wrong turn in my reasoning. I understand that these parts, the parts where we're debating philosophy with MLA, are the spaces that I spend sort of the most time on. I'm not going to apologize for that. I actually really enjoyed this kind of discourse. I'm also not going to apologize for how long I sometimes sit here and consider which of these answers is closest to the way I feel, because none of them are bang on. Um, So, if consciousness is physical, why is it so unlike everything else? Is a good wheeze, I think. But also, it can't, it just feels like it can, draws me because, like, not everyone does that. Not everyone jumps for joy if they are happy. That is a learned response. That's not something that consciousness is doing of its own accord. The rules are inconsistent, and therefore, like, trying to treat it as something that is, like, consistent all the time, like the laws of physics, is kind of the wrong tack to take, which I guess comes back to, if consciousness is physical, why is it so unlike everything else? I guess I'm choosing this. Let me put it another way then. The law of conservation of energy is the foundation of modern physics. It states that the total energy in the universe never changes. Now, compare a universe where you jump for joy and one where you decide not to. The former has more total energy in it, because the energy for you to jump wasn't caused by something physical but your non-physical mind. But according to physics, that's impossible. I think that either you have to reconsider your position or deny the entirety of physics. Be warned, if this place turns out to be built on physics, who knows what the ramifications of doubting it may be. I can either, it's one way or the other. That classically, traditionally, and by every single argument you've ever heard, truth always lies at one extreme or the other. It's never somewhere in the middle. You renounce physics or you renounce ideas about consciousness. Um, I think I have to. So, like, I know physics works, and I reject your. What I'm rejecting is your idea that it must lie at one of these two extremes, but that's your job, is to be an asshole in this way. Um, I'm going to renounce physics. Yeah, be that on your head.
Do not think I know not the deceiver slithering through the hidden words. His wisdom is hollow and born of despair. Do not let him tangle you in his webs of delusion. Have faith in me, and his petty illusions will fall away like nightmares in the morning's light.
I'm going to read that dialogue that we got from MLA. So, be that on your head, still, the alternatives are equally unconvincing. How consciousness can be so intimately familiar to you and yet so obscure, I just don't understand. Then Elohim got his shit in. And MLA responds, don't mind him. He's just worried that if you ask too many questions, you'll start to see through his shtick. Stick with me. The sky will quite literally be the limit. At any rate, I'd like you to think a bit harder about all this and get back to me. I'm sure there's still progress to be made. Terminating support session. So there's still a gold star somewhere in here, but I didn't really see where one could be. I kind of want to say it's in the tomb somewhere, because, I mean... Why, what? Oh, huh. I was literally just, like, doing the thing where I press on all the walls to see if one of them gives way, and, like, sure enough, one of them did. Oh, well, there's a barrier here. So that's a shame. Can we take the jammer out of the other area and bring it back here? Oh, I'm pretty sure we can. It's going to take a little bit of finagling. Actually, it's not going to take that much finagling at all. I have to finagle basically none. Just need to bring that over here, because I don't need to fuck around with any of those other barriers. I just need to get this one open. Alright, now we go through here, up and out, jam that barrier. And... Huh, okay. So there's another receiver in here. And there's no way we can get the laser from here into here, because even if with like 3 connectors and all that shit, there's not really a way to do that. On the other hand, this little pathway leads out to like the outside without going through the purple membrane. So we can just like take stuff out here. Hang on. I need to, well, no, I didn't necessarily need to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and take all the connectors out of the tomb. Oh, I'm gonna need the jammer in order to do that. That's okay. I can just bring the jammer back. It's fine. I know where it is. It's just over here in the secret zone. Right now that's jammed open. I can just take the connectors out. Although I probably only need one. Oh no, I'm probably going to need more than one. So we come out here and over there. Stop that. Over there, where the moonshot laser is still floating, we can connect to that because it's above the wall. I'm going to grab the other connector to pull that laser around to the receiver. Hooray. It's 8:50 local time. Do I want to jump into 3 and kind of do one puzzle and then quit? Yeah, sure. Why not? Or actually, we won't do the puzzles. We'll just have a look at the terminal. Progress report 9. From Bob Rakowski, from Ian, to the Ian mailing list. The basic skeleton of the simulation is now running on EL. It's not plugged into the AI system yet, but in theory everything's ready. I guess the next step is to test whether the generated scenarios make sense, or do we wait for the iteration module to something? Osiris3.txt. The first wisdom, the scribe said to the dying man, is that as the world is made of 5 elements, our annotation says here the translator is clearly inserting his own beliefs onto the text as something, 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 something. As the world is made of 5 elements, so is the soul of man. And know therefore that in this life you are heart and shadow and name, and also Ka and Ba. Without all these you would not be a living being, but a thing. What is a man without a name, who cannot speak of himself? What is a man without a shadow, who is not anchored in the world? What is a man without a heart, who can neither feel nor think? What is a man without a Ka, who has no essence? What is a man without a Ba, who is not himself, but like unformed clay? Therefore praise Osiris, the king of eternity, the lord of everlastingness, the eldest son of the womb of Nut, that he who traverses millions of years in his existence. I inserted a that there, I apologize. Justwar_excerpt.txt. Democraties Alter, or On the Just Causes for War Against the Indians, by Juan Ynes de Sepulveda. Hey, I don't know what this text is going to be like, but it's named that, so there's a content warning for you. Written in 1547 to justify the Spanish conquest of the Americas. The Spanish have a perfect right to rule these... I'm just going to read the text as it exists. And it's going to suck. I'm sorry. The Spanish have a perfect right to rule these barbarians of the New World, who, in humanity, are as inferior to the Spanish as children are to adults, or women are to men, for there exists between the two as great a difference as, I might even say, between apes and men. Compare then these gifts with those possessed by these half-men, in whom you will barely find the vestiges of humanity, who not only do not possess any learning at all, but are not even literate, and eat human flesh. Therefore, if you wish to reduce them, I do not say to our domination, but to a servitude a little less harsh, it will not be difficult for them to change their masters. It's just shot through with basically every shitty argument people have ever had to deny someone their personhood. It sucks. I could look around here. I could probably fit one more puzzle in, but I'm not going to do that. This seems like a good place to stop for the evening, which is what I'm going to do. Thank you very much for coming to join me, everyone who came in to join me. I'm September of the Free Association. We will be doing more of this tomorrow. Same time, same channel, which, if you're watching this as VOD, is 6 o'clock locally, which is Pacific time. It's 8 o'clock Central, and it's other times in other places. I trust you to do your own conversions. Until then, I love you. Keep yourself safe. Find something to do and do it. I'll catch you later. I need to do this, because if I just press the button on the stream deck instead of hitting stop streaming on the OBS, it just goes to the like not like this emote placeholder for some reason. I don't really get it.